We know that when we are evaluating something, we use BEDMAS. So brackets, then exponents, then division and multiplication, and lastly addition and subtraction. However, when we are isolating for a variable, we go in the opposite direction. And first we check for addition and subtraction, then we move the division and multiplication, then we get rid of the exponents, and then the brackets. Let's see what that looks like. If I've got this equation right here, if my a value is what I'm isolating, well, the first thing that's going to happen to the a is that I'm going to multiply by -5. Okay, that's the only thing, so I don't have a choice. I need to get rid of that -5. Since -5 is multiplying, I will get rid of it by dividing both sides by -5. And 120 divided by 5 is 24. Because there's a negative, we just keep it as -24. On this side, I got that x is being you add 12 to it. So there's only one thing happening, and that is add 12. Well, how do I get rid of adding by 12? I will subtract 12 from both sides. Subtract 12 from both sides, that means that x is equal to 99, that is 87. Okay, and then on the other one, on the last one, we have that x is being divided by 3. Well, the only thing that's happening is that 8 is divided by 3. What is the opposite of divided by 3? Of course, you know, it's multiplied by 3. So we're going to multiply by 3, multiply by 3, and we get that x is equal to 36. So those are the simple ones, the one step. What happens when there's more things on it? Well, let's check this one. We call them two steps because two things are happening. So let's look at the first one. If I have the x, the first thing that's going to happen to the x is I'm going to multiply it by 2. Then I'm going to subtract 3. So when I'm isolating, I got to take care of the last one first. So I got to get rid of that -3. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add 3. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And I'm going to have that 2x is equal to 13. And of course, it's just like the one-step equation. To get rid of that 2, I will divide both sides by 2. And x is equal to 13 over 2. That cannot be simplified, so that's how it stays. On this side, the first thing that's going to happen to the x is it gets multiplied by -1, which is kind of tricky to see. The next thing is that 8 is being added to that answer. So therefore, the first thing that goes is that +8. How does that +8 go away? I will subtract -8 from both sides, which leaves me with the -x. That minus didn't go. It's a -1 that's multiplying there is equal to -18. How do I get rid of that minus sign? Well, that's really -1 multiplying. So I will divide by -1 on both sides. And I get that this is +18 to be my final answer. Let's look at this last one. What's happening? Well, if I'm isolating from my x, the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to get multiplied by 1/3, and then I need to add 5. All right, but because I'm isolating, the first thing I need to get rid of then is the number 2. So it's going to be -5 and -5. So I'm left with 1/3 x on the left side, because the -5 and the +5 goes away, equals -6. And now I need to get rid of that divided by 3. Now you may see this as 1/3, but it's really just x being divided by 3. So we're going to multiply it by 3 on both sides. I'm going to change colors. And multiply by 3. And therefore we get that 3 divided by 3 is 1. Just 1x on this side and -18 as our final answer. Yes, one more time. Fractions is just the number on top that multiplies, the number at the bottom that's dividing. So I get rid of 1/3 by multiplying it by 3.